Hey guys, and welcome to new releases for the week of May 13th. Very quickly, I just wanted to say that I did film my eye look today. I used the Burger palette from Glamlight, and I plan to do a 3 looks using that palette video at some point. I can't promise when it will be up, but hopefully soon. Sorry, that was totally unrelated to today's video. So, reeling it back, let's do this. First up, I'm going to talk about 2 items from Huda Beauty. One is the Tantor cream to powder bronzing slash contouring product. It's available in 5 shades. It costs $30 US. It's sweat proof, water resistant, and workout proof. It's supposed to be highly blendable, and it's good for contouring and bronzing. I will say that curiosity got the better of me, and I did purchase this. I believe it's actually sitting in my mailbox right now. I bought the fairest of them. I was really debating between fair and light, and I wasn't quite sure which way to go, so I'm hoping fair is not too light, but I would rather it be buildable and lighter than too dark and too heavy and really not be able to go anywhere from there. So I do plan to play around with it and share my thoughts here on my channel at some point. But I have been loving the contour stick from Charlotte Tilbury. That's what I'm wearing today. Like, loving it. And so I thought that maybe with this product, it might just be sort of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It might be the same kind of effect. So here's hoping, but I will let you guys know. The other item from Huda Beauty is their new setting spray, Resting Boss Face. It looks like a legit hairspray. So it's an aerosolized can, looks very similar to the one that Morphe has out. A lot of people in the comments on the Trend Mood post about this product were saying that, and were accusing her of ripping Morphe off. I'm not going to go so far as to say that, but I am going to say, although I like the idea of a continuous spray, like I really do, I don't know that all the chemicals that go into being able to aerosolize a product are something that I want on my face or breathing it all in. So this is one that I am not particularly interested in. Also, it's $32 US. That's a very expensive setting spray, and I feel like because it's aerosolized, it probably won't last as long as a typical liquid setting spray would. So this one just isn't for me. It does have a waterproof and ultra matte finish, so if you're looking for something like that, then this might be up your alley, but for me personally, not so much. A product that I'm on the fence about is from Natasha Denona, and it's the new Tan Bronze and Glow palette. Again, I like the idea of it, but I'm just not sure that the practicality is there for me. I don't know that I would get a ton of use out of it. Particularly the cream glow base, I don't think that I would, and I can say that with a certain amount of authority because I do have the larger diamond blush palette, and it has a few cream products in there, and I don't tend to gravitate towards those. So for the price tag on this one, I believe it's about 66 Canadian. I am probably going to pass on it, but it's one of those things that if I saw it in store and it swatched beautifully, I would probably throw it into my cart at that point. A product that actually was in my cart for a while before I ultimately just sort of X'd out of the window and decided not to buy it was one of these palettes from Vizier. So these are the newest of the Vizier palettes. They're basically like jumbo-sized mini palettes, and they bring in some new shades, but also some shades from existing palettes. There is the Warm Edit, which is the one on the right, and then the Rosé Edit on the left. The one that I was particularly drawn to was the Warm Edit, which kind of surprises me. But it does give off that Natasha Denona Sunset palette vibe at a much reduced price point. These are $39 US each. I really hemmed and hawed. Like, I spent like a ridiculous amount of time with it in my cart, really trying to decide if it was something that I really wanted to buy or if I felt that I could do away and not purchase it. And ultimately what I decided was I'm going to wait if it comes to Sephora, and I don't know if it will be, but if it does come to Sephora, I'll probably purchase it then. But even though I can get free shipping from Beautylish, I still have to pay some of the duties, and I still have to pay the exchange rate on the American dollar, all of that kind of thing. So ultimately it's going to cost me less if I just wait and get it from Sephora. Also, that way I can also swatch them. I have had hit or miss experiences with Vizier just personally, so I think this is one that I want to swatch before I put my money towards it, because even though it is like reasonably priced, it's still going to be about $50 Canadian, so it's worth at least swatching before I order it sight unseen. Another new product that's out, or at least it was out for a day and now it's back off of the Sephora website and coming back in June, is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Primer, and I did purchase it. So it just arrived today. I've only used it once. I do have it on right now. I will say it blends out really nicely. It's not sticky. It doesn't have that silicone sort of feel. It really just feels like you're applying a moisturizer, but it is rather heavily scented. It's a nice scent. Like, it smells like a high-end skin cream, but it is a rather strong scent, especially once you've applied it all over your face. It does dissipate very quickly, but I just wanted to bring that initial impression out to you guys, because some people I know are very sensitive to scents, and if that is you, this is probably one that you're going to want to skip over. I will say it is fairly generously sized. It's 50 milliliters, so it's 1.6 fluid ounces. It's the exact same size as the actual foundation. So first impressions for me, I like the feeling of it. I don't mind the scent, but I can understand where some people might be a little off-put by that. And I do think that the price point is fair for the amount of product that you get. I don't know that it's going to add any more longevity to my makeup than typical, but I'm wearing it today. I will keep you guys updated on my impressions of this as they develop. Too Faced is coming out with a highlighter trio. This is the Triple Scoop palette. It has hyper reflective glitter and sparkling dimension, and also smells like Neapolitan ice cream. You know what, I think the packaging is kind of cute, to be honest. I do. I don't think it's like so far over the top where I'm a little off-put by it. I think it's cute. I don't want it. I know I would only use one shade out of it. I would only use like the champagne-y color. And the fact that they describe it as being glittery isn't really up my alley. So for me, this one's a pass. Okay, one that I cannot decide about. I talked about this very briefly last week because they had only released like the side of the palette. Now they have released the actual images, and in fact the palette itself has already been released and sold out, I think, twice already. And that's from Juvia's Place. This is the new Nubian 3 Coral Palette. I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't really feel like it deserves the title of Coral Palette. Like, it's got 2 coral shades in it. The rest are rather neutral, leaning towards cool toned, and there's 2 coral shades. So I like that in and of itself is not enough to turn me off. Like, I don't care what it's called, to be honest, but I look at it and I don't know what I would do with it. I kind of feel compelled to buy all of the Juvia's palettes as they come out, because I have like 10 of them already. But this is one that I think I'm gonna leave for now. Maybe once I start seeing people doing like eye looks with it and I can get some inspiration on pairings and whatnot, maybe then I'll purchase it. But right now I don't have like an extreme draw to it where I feel like I want notifications, or like I need to constantly refresh their website until it reloads, or restocks, I guess. So for me, it's just kind of like take it or leave it. I'm not off-put by it, but I'm really not compelled to be like, I must have this in my life. I don't know. A palette, however, that I am very interested in is from Nabla Cosmetics, and this is the Secret palette. It will be available on their website on May 22nd. I imagine it will come to Beauty Bay as well, because I believe pretty much all of their products are on Beauty Bay at this point. At any rate, I have never tried any Nabla products at all. I have heard really great things, I think, about their first 2 palettes, and then the most recent one before this one kind of got a mixed bag of reviews. This one looks pretty. This one looks really pretty, and I like the color story. I like that it's not all heavily neutral, but there's enough neutral shadows in there to really ground any look, and I just think it looks stunning. The swatches, I don't know that I necessarily believe just how good they look. I always kind of take swatches with a bit of a grain of salt because you just don't know how much product has been applied to make the swatches look as opaque as they do. But be that as it may, they look beautiful, and I'm particularly drawn to like that cranberry shade and then the teal and the reflective teal beside it, and then that sort of like iridescent minty kind of color. Like it just, they're all so pretty. This is one that I am very much interested in. I'm also kind of interested in this new Morphe palette. And I am not like a huge Morphe fan. I have had palettes of theirs in the past, and I've either decluttered them or depotted them and only kept the shades that I really liked. But this color story, it speaks to my soul. It's so very pretty. Apparently those larger pans across the center are all like shimmery toppers. That's a bit disappointing. I'm hoping that they're not super sheer. The palette itself is going to be a beast. I know it is. I had the original 39 palette that they had, 39A I think it was, and it's huge. Like it's a monster, but the color story is really sucking me in. So Trixie Mattel is coming out with a beauty line called Trixie Cosmetics, and the first product that has been announced is called Stacy. It is a megawatt pink creamy matte lipstick with heart-shaped packaging, and the color looks like it is to die for. The drag aesthetic is not really my cup of tea, so I haven't really immersed myself in that world and that genre, so I'm not overly familiar with the players. So I'm not really sure at all anything about Trixie Mattel, but I will say this, that lipstick looks effing stunning. The color is so vibrant and so beautiful, and if the entire line is like this high impact sort of color payoff, I am down and I am very curious about it. I don't know when this is going to be available or even what the price point is. The information's not on the post. But I look forward to learning more details because I want this lipstick in my life. Becca is releasing a new collection. This is going to be called the Pearl Glow Collection, and it looks quite pretty. It's got 3 sheer lip tints. It has a jellified highlighter, and it also has the eyeshadow palette. Now, this is only going to be available in Becca travel retail locations. I don't quite know what that means. Is that like stores in airports, I guess? I don't know. So United States, Korea, Denmark, France, Turkey, the UAE, and Guam. Those countries are all going to have this collection available to them. So even if I wanted it, I'm not going to be able to get it unless they expand their releases outside of that at a later date. Again, this is one of those palettes where I think it would be very usable, but I'm not sure that I necessarily need it. I'm more interested in the lip products here, to be honest. I tend to be all evidence to the contrary. I'm gravitating more towards glosses and sheer lips right now. It's just a stylistic thing, so I am curious about the lip products. So this eyeshadow palette, this is from Midas Cosmetics. It's the Flower Bomb palette, and my god is it stunning. It is so beautiful. It's $39 US, and unfortunately the shipping to Canada was an additional $20. Plus there would be import fees like customs and things like that, and so I didn't end up pressing complete order because I just couldn't double the price of the palette. Like, it's so beautiful, but the shipping cost was just way too much for me to handle. So as beautiful as it is, unfortunately I'm not going to be picking it up unless they have like a free shipping sale at some point, but they are an indie brand and I understand that that would put a lot of expense on them, so I don't expect that at any point, but it does look absolutely beautiful. KKW is coming out with yet another goddamn snooze fest. I just can't with this brand, I just can't. So available on May 24th is going to be the Mrs. West collection. Apparently this is inspired by or is the makeup that was used on her in her wedding. But again, this brand just bores the ever-living hell out of me. I don't know. I think it's honestly just all the beige packaging. I glaze over as soon as I see it. So if you're interested in this stuff, then there it is. But for me, I'm not even remotely interested in it. All right, and the last product that I want to talk about, also not remotely interested in, it is yet another shimmery body oil. This one is from ABH. It has a coconut and vanilla scent. Apparently it is not sticky or tacky. Dries like a dry body oil, leaving the skin super glowy and sparkly. It's going to be available May 21st on the ABH website, and then May 28th on the Sephora, Macy's, and Ulta websites, and June 6th in stores. I am not about the sparkly oil life. I just am not. This one is $38 US. I just don't see spending the amount of money on that. Go and get like the Sally Hansen one. Get like a bit of a highlighter and put it into a actual body lotion. Like there's so many ways to DIY this kind of product that is going to save a lot of money in your pocket. And I just overall just have no interest in this kind of thing at all. All right. Overall, this week is a bit of a snooze fest with the new releases. I've got to be honest. There are a couple things that have piqued my interest, but nothing that I feel super excited about. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Frankly, my wallet is relieved to hear that. So I would love to hear from you guys. Does anything pique your interest? Are you kind of bored about the new makeup that's coming out right now? Too, sound off down below. You know the drill. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.